Come on. There we go. I think. I think. Let's see. We're trying to get this back on. It didn't go back on. Oh, Facebook is not streaming. That's kind of weird. I've not had that problem in a long time. Facebook has been our go-to place. Come on, you can do it.
All I see is you now, Mike.
Oh, really? You don't even see the screen?
Don't see the screen, I just see you.
Huh. That's really odd. Okay, it's streaming, I think. Let's see if we got things going again. Let's bring it back up here and see what's going on. Huh. What is going on? I don't think I've ever had that happen where it's just shut down. Well, we're back. We're back, I think. Let's see. Yeah, now we're back. That's weird. Okay. Yep, and you're there too. Okay. So anyway, it's about a family that the whole family's into their church and stuff, and John Goodman is the head of the family, and he does most of the preaching, and the rest of his children. He retired last season, so his children are taking over the church. The first episode of this season is the backstory of how they got into religion from the Civil War. So it's kind of funny. And the guy that stole his identity, stole the minister's identity, was a criminal. and he went to war being a minister, and they end up capturing his whole troop, and he gets let go because he's a minister. And he's not really a minister. He just pretends to be a minister, which is kind of funny. But that anyway, what my point is that Walter Goggins is the brother-in-law, brother or brother-in-law. I think he's the brother-in-law, and he's also a preacher, but he's a preacher that has all these scams. Like he comes up with these things he sells, like diapers that are God's diapers and stuff, really weird stuff. But anyway, he's also in The White Lotus, which is a really bizarre show. They're on their third season. It's really actually a very interesting, bizarre show, but he's in it. He's in season 1. Actually, he's been in all 3 seasons. He's at the end of season 1. He's in season 2 for the first 2 or so episodes, and his wife gets killed in the second season, and he comes back in the third season. And my understanding is he's looking for revenge on somebody. I don't know who yet. So I like that show. It's a really bizarre, off the wall show, and so that's kind of interesting to me. There's a movie out called Novocaine. It's really a strange, bizarre, kind of a superhero movie without the superheroes. This guy has Novocaine. He's shot up on Novocaine. He feels no pain, so he could go getting beat up people without having to worry about, because he's on Novocaine. I don't have any more information than that because I don't think it's been released yet, but it looks pretty interesting. It's a comedy. Also, Mel Gibson's trying to get his gun rights back.
How's that going to work?
Oh, that's really, that's a good question. And a lot of people are curious about that as well. He has not been approved to get it back yet. I'm waiting for the article to open up. Open up. Open up. Really, you can open up. Oh, here we go. Now it'll probably be open like 10 times. There it is. District Attorney Department of Justice attorney claims she was fired for refusing to approve Mel Gibson's gun rights. He lost his gun rights, lost his right to purchase or own a handgun after a 2011 domestic violence misdemeanor conviction. That guy is, I mean, he's done a lot of cool things, but I would never trust him with a gun.
I don't think, yeah, that woman was correct not to give him his gun rights back.
Yeah. I would be scared of him having a gun. So, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about him overall as a person because he's just in too much weird controversy. He's a very talented guy, but with talent sometimes
Troubled. He's troubled.
Yeah. So, just kind of weird. And I'm kind of happy he didn't get his gun rights back. But don't tell him that, because if he gets them back, he'll come after me too. So anyway, the LADA withdrew their support for the Menendezes for the resentencing of the Menendezes. This, I think, is really strange. Did you hear about this?
Yes, I read.
So
I don't know the reason why.
Well, because he feels that they show no remorse for what they did.
That's right.
I just kind of, I'm conflicted on it because the guy spent. I mean, granted that it is partially their fault, a big part of it, because they were trying to cover so much stuff up and all that. But again, upon knowing why they were put away, I'm assuming it's all correct that they were being, abused and raped and all that, or the one son was, but they were apparently really being abused by that guy. So I don't know. I just I feel kind of bad for them, but yet they did kill somebody. So I don't know how I feel about that. That's all I have for the entertainment, I think. Do you have any entertainment stuff you want to talk about?
No,
Okay.
no
You
entertainment.
got any topics? What do you got?
Well, let me pull it up here. My computer went dark.
I hate when that happens. If you have a link that you could, I think you can send. You might be able to send it over in Teams. Let me see if I can.
Well, Mike, where is this at now? Canada.
Canada
has dropped their tariffs against us.
Oh yeah. That was interesting.
Do you have that?
Let me look. I don't know if I grabbed that one or not. Got some pretty funny things, but that's not. I don't think that's one of our. No, I don't think I do have that, but I do remember reading about that.
Trump upped the tariffs to 50%, and they dropped their tariffs.
Oh man, this tariff thing.
Trump is something, man.
Yeah. I'm looking here to see if I have anything on that. I don't think I do. I don't. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the tariff thing because prices are. I understand the reason for it. The reasoning for it is to make an even playing field, but it's not doing that. I think it's
doing it with some countries, not with others.
Right. Yeah. And Canada, I don't. We've never really had an issue with Canada. I mean, if I was going to pick on a country, that wouldn't be the one.
No, it's supposed to be our 51st state, Mike. Another one of Trumpisms.
Yeah, I see that coming. Eventually, that'll probably happen too.
See, now Trump won't say anything negative about Putin, but he'll say things about Canada that just rile Canadians.
Yeah, yeah, it's really weird. I don't know. I can't quite grasp the whole thing. I don't. I mean, I can understand. Do we? I didn't even know we did that much trade with Canada. Do we?
It's our number one trading partner.
Is it? Oh, I didn't.
Yes.
Oh,
Mexico and Canada are our two number one trading partners.
wow. I didn't know that. Interesting. Um, well, that would explain a little. Uh, hmm. I never realized that Canada had that much stuff that we would buy, other than the snow. I mean, they selling it. What are they selling us?
They're selling us everything they make, and we sell them everything we make.
Huh. Okay. I
They sell us a lot of energy.
okay. Oh yeah, yeah. I did notice that. Well, maybe my tax credits will be worth more then, or my energy credits will be worth more. Because
True.
you never know. I mean, but like I can only get a fraction. Like if I was in if I was in another state, I could get a lot more money. Like D.C. and Massachusetts and all that, they get several $100 per energy credit. But I don't get that kind of stuff for Pennsylvania, Ohio. I'm legal to sell them in both of those states. New Jersey, I can get. I can't sell into New Jersey, but if I could, I'd get a couple $100 of solar credit. In Pennsylvania, I get lucky if I get $40. I mean, it's a big difference. So they let me sell it to other states, but unfortunately, it's not a lot in the states that I'm allowed to sell into. And you would think that the states that are $200, $300, that means they need energy credits. And I've got energy credits, so I could sell them, but I'm not allowed to sell into those states. And I tried to get certified for those states, so it sucks. I really was trying to work my way into it, and didn't happen. So that's sad. But what can you do? So they're okay. So their energy. Okay. So what do they have? What do they got? I mean, where do they get their energy credits?
Well, Niagara Falls is one.
Ah, okay.
New York City depends on Niagara Falls.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
The other thing is that car manufacturers, parts go back and forth over the border, maybe 6 or 8 times.
Okay.
Because they build their factories right across the border in Canada.
Okay, that makes
And what
sense.
Trump wants to do is bring that all back to the United States.
They should just make another state. They should just
annex it.
I mean, what the heck? I mean, why? I mean, I guess they don't want to be United States citizens, but I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't be opposed to it. It's hard to say. I never really thought about that. And he wanted 50% tax on that?
First of all, he put a 25% tax on aluminum, metal, and energy.
Okay.
All right. So they put a 25% tax on. What did they put a tax on? I can't remember what they put a tax on, but they put a tax on 2 things.
Okay.
Right. And so Trump today raised it to 50%, and Canada caved and took their 25% away. Wow. So Trump took his 25% away.
That's crazy. It is crazy. You know,
Trump won again.
But that's why he does what he does and the way he does it. He's not going to start small. He's going to start big. And then he has somewhere to cave to. He's a salesman. So, the thing is, nobody seems to understand especially his haters don't seem to understand he's a businessman. And
He's just working a deal. That's
right,
all he's doing.
yeah. Uh, oh man,
And he's
that's
using all kinds of tactics that seem to be unfair,
yeah. But
but they're
that's
legal.
yeah, and they're what he used to get where he is now. So I don't know. I don't think that. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to. I mean, a lot of things he knows how to do. But
Read his book. All
yes,
you have to do is read his book.
yep. The Art of the Deal is the book. I think. I think it's the
That's
one.
it.
Yeah,
That's it.
and he does. He knows what he's doing. I don't know. It's just crazy. I mean, it just Trump is
If you've read his book, I have not read it, but if you read his book, you know exactly what he's doing.
right. Yeah, that's crazy. Trump is a one of a kind guy for sure,
He is one of a kind.
and there's a reason why he's who he is, and whether you like him or you hate him or whatever, you got to respect that he does know what he's doing. So I don't dislike him being president. I dislike some of the things that he can't. He doesn't shut up. That's what I dislike. You know, there's a time to brag. There's a time to do deals, but I just think that it's if he'd be the best president ever if he wouldn't if he wouldn't keep talking. So, and Ann says he's getting stuff done, and that's really the bottom line. He's
He
done
is
more.
getting stuff done.
He's done more in just January than most presidents have done their whole term. So, you know, the guy's got, and he's got plans. He's definitely playing the game. You know, he's like, look over here while he's doing stuff over here. He's just, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to distract you. I mean, politicians are politicians, but Trump is not a politician. He's a deal maker. What is going on? My battery's unplugged. Hold on. Let me plug that back in, or else I'll be doing the show alone. There we go. We plugged it in. Oh, but anyway, yeah. I mean, he's getting things done, and that's what that's what the president was supposed to do. President was supposed to go in and do things, get things done, and not supposed to be a lifelong politician. Not supposed to be, you know, I'm going to work this hard so I can become president someday, so that I can just, I don't know. It's just crazy to see why people are complaining. I mean, he does talk too much, but he gets things done. So, all right, what else you
The
got?
Department of Education, Michael, is rumored to be being cut in half staff-wise.
That's Linda McMahon's section, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
she is going to cut it in half.
and that's probably not a bad idea. It's you know, there's a lot of fat in what they have.
Government.
Yeah, I mean overall, and the thing is, people don't see that. People don't see that they keep saying that he's trying to make all this money for himself. I don't see where he would be benefiting from any of this. His kids are out of school. You know, it's not like he's going to make a ton of money off of it. You know, his. That's why I can't. You know, I've never really been into politics because I just hate the fact that people can't work together. And
Not in this climate. Nobody works
No.
together.
no, and it's everyone's in it for themselves, and I'm sure he's getting things out of it. I'm not. I don't doubt that at all because he's a business guy. There's no way he's not getting anything, but he's getting things done. So I don't know. I'm not against people making money either, but he's not supposed to be making money for himself. I don't know. All right, what else you got?
They arrested a Palestinian agitator yesterday
Okay.
who was responsible for the Columbia University protests last year.
I did hear about this. I don't know if I have. Let me see if I.
He's got a green card, not a visa.
Okay.
They revoked his visa, but he's got a green card. He's here legally and he's a U.S. resident legally. and they have him in Louisiana in a detention center and not charged. And there's a New York judge who's saying you can't do that. That's against the Constitution. He is a U.S. resident.
Hmm.
You have to charge him. You just can't detain him. And so there's a fight between the federal government and this New York judge.
Wow.
They also cut $400 million going to Columbia University because they have failed to protect Jewish students from harassment.
Hmm.
So Columbia University is out $400 million
Wow.
as of this week.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Wow.
Trump is also going to cut federal funds to any state that won't abide by his trans men and women sports policy.
I don't. I'm pro right to be trans, but I'm not pro right to have a man or a transgender competing with a woman, because there's just not. It's not an even playing field.
It's not fair.
And there's just no way I would be okay with that. Maybe if they had a third segment of trans Olympics or whatever, that would be okay with me. But I just don't see you shouldn't have women going against men in anything, really, because it's just not a fair playing field. So I don't have a problem with
Well,
him.
in Maine, the governor has refused to follow Trump's executive order. And so Trump is going to cut all federal funds to Maine. States can't operate without federal funding.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I think as long as we're staying within logic, that I don't have a problem with that. I think that I believe in equality, but it isn't equal. It's not equal when you're talking about physically. There's a difference. So I totally have to stand up and say, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. I think everyone should be treated fairly, and I don't think that that's unfair. I don't think that it's unfair to expect a woman
The
to
girl, the volleyball player,
yeah
the female,
yeah
the girl, that got hit in the face with a volleyball hit by a trans male, suffered brain damage, was in the audience of the State of the Union address, or the president's address to Congress. Democrats did not applaud her at all.
See, the thing is,
she has brain damage from a trans male spiking a ball right in her face.
Well, but that could happen to a male when a male spikes it to a male.
Yeah, but the power of a male to a female face is.
But a male to a male face would be the same, I would imagine. But the bottom line is that I agree with you on, or I agree with Trump on the fact that you should just not have volleyball. That's it.
That solves the problem.
That solves the problem. No more.
That solves the problem.
See, that's why I would have been a terrible parent. I said, nope, you can't do that.
And speaking of the State of the Union, there was a young man there that had 11 surgeries for brain cancer. And what he wanted to do was become a police officer.
Okay.
So Trump made him a Secret Service agent.
Okay.
Democrats sat in their hands and didn't applaud.
Well, they're not going to ever applaud for anything he does. They just won't. It's just...
They won't applaud an 11-year-old with 11 surgeries for brain cancer?
The problem is that Democrats are acting like 8-year-olds,
Yes.
and they don't. They will not applaud for anything he does. It doesn't matter. They just. It could be. Uh, it could be the best thing in the world, and they're just not going.
He
They're
could cure cancer and they
yeah,
wouldn't applaud
yeah.
for it.
They're that's the thing. Well, this is so weird to me because it's okay to be in different mindsets. It's okay to not agree with him, but it's not okay to be like that group of kids that I was up against in high school that you could do no good. There's nothing you could do that's good. You're going to be hated regardless of what you do, and that's what I see. I see that you know you can't you can't be an adult and applaud something that your guy the guy that you don't want to be in president that he does. You know, that's the problem when you have people that are all extreme. You can't have if they were in the middle of the road and you may not be
They could
they
applaud
could
something
applaud.
like that.
Yay, yay, yeah. You did something good. Yay. But it doesn't matter. He could give everybody $1 million out of his own pocket. They still wouldn't applaud. It doesn't matter because they just don't want him in there. And the thing is, when he
And
was in,
that's the sad state of our politics.
and it's like last time he was in, all they had to do, all they did the whole time he was in, was they threw lawsuits at him, and he didn't get to get as much done because he had all these lawsuits he had to fight off. Now at least they're not doing that, but they're not doing anything to support him either, and that's not what politics are all about. You know, you can disagree with things, will still support your president. You know, and these people are, well, that's not my president. Yes, he is. As long as you're living in this country, he's your president. Whether or not you like it, he's your president. And I didn't like Biden, but he was still my president. I had no choice. You know, I didn't like Biden because of the fact that he treated people bad. I thought that he treated Elon really bad, and you know, it takes a lot for me to really dislike someone, but I didn't like Biden and his group because of the way that they would treat people. And it's our way or the highway. And the thing is, it's on both sides. It's not Republicans and it's not Democrats. It's both sides are acting, I don't know, just really badly. I want to get somebody in the
Childish.
middle.
They're acting childish.
I'd like to see somebody come in that can do the job and I like the fact that Trump is doing it for his own convictions. He's not trying to prove a point. This is what he really, truly, honestly believes. He honestly believes this stuff that he's saying. And I don't know. I don't like everything he says. Don't like everything he does. But I like the fact that he works and somebody said something about. I saw some stupid article that said that they wanted to sue Trump because he was on the golf course and it cost $80 million for him to do a golf game. I don't understand how you could rack up a bill for $80 million for playing golf.
Security.
Okay, so but he's allowed off time and anything. There are other presidents that play golf. There are other presidents that wasted money, wasted time, and at least he's doing something. I'm not saying the golf he shouldn't do golf. I'm saying he's entitled to free time. He's entitled to be able to have some downtime because he's certainly. It's not. You can't say. Well, yeah, I remember George Bush used to always go and disappear and for periods of time too, and it's not uncommon for that to happen. They all do that. They all take time off. You got to. That's a high stress job. It's not like working at McDonald's where, you have a set menu and stuff. His day changes every day, and he has some pretty high stakes stuff to deal with. Plus, he's been shot at. So someone that's been shot, I give him a little more leeway because he's talking about putting his life on the line. Whew. I mean,
Have you heard about the auto pen?
No.
Biden hasn't signed an executive order or a letter in years is all done by AutoPen.
I don't know what auto.
They now think that he is totally incapable of even signing his own name.
Oh, I believe that. I really do. After seeing that, after seeing him in that in the one debate, I mean, I didn't realize he was that bad until I saw him in the debate. And you got to think that's kind of like where Gene Hackman was.
Yeah,
He was at a point where he couldn't think. His wife died and he never called the cops. So that meant he was pretty far gone.
he was gone.
So I'm sure Biden is in that boat where, and I feel bad for those people that are that far gone and don't realize it. And I don't know that he realizes it. He wanted to stay as president. He wanted to run again. He was sure he could do it again. Could you imagine if he had gotten in? I mean, there's just no way.
Well, the question is who was running the country?
Yeah, well, apparently nobody. So
Jill. Jill was running the country.
probably, yeah. And it's sad because, I don't have anything against Biden. I just think that you got to know when to walk away and step back, and if he doesn't, if he isn't really, if he's not capable of doing that, then he's been in too long, and that's what it comes down to. So it's sad, but we that's what happens when you only let the older people take the presidency, because you have to worry about what their medical issues are going to be. And some men will come through just fine, but I don't know. I just feel that that there's got to be some checksums that we got to take a look at. There's got to be. We got to try to keep that from happening, and I don't know. It's sad to see. I mean, I didn't hate Biden. I felt uncomfortable with his situation, and I didn't like the fact that there were lots of things with little girls touching. And I know that I'm blowing it out of proportion, but
he's strange.
Yes, I that's a better way to put it. So I don't know. Who knows? What else you got?
That's about it.
Okay. I got some fun stuff. You want some fun stuff?
Well, let's go to fun stuff.
Okay. You're not going to like this at first, but I think you might like it as you understand why I'm doing it. We're going to play Dear Abby.
Okay.
I'm going to read to you the letter to Dear Abby, and you tell me what you think you would do. And I'll tell you what she said. Dear Abby, my niece disinvited me from her wedding because I have a service dog. Now, there's a little bit more to that than this. She's it's a wedding, so, I mean, obviously, you can't really have pet. Okay, why are you not opening? What is going on here? Now it's open. Oh, here we go again. I opened 6 of them. Okay. So, what would you? Okay, I'm going to read the whole thing to you because there's more to it than that. It says, "Dear Abby, I've been married 27 years. Most of them have been miserable. My husband is. Oh, this is not that one, but that one's coming. I've been married for 27 years. Most of them have been miserable. My husband has been a functioning alcoholic for more than 40 years. I consider his behavior emotionally abusive. I hate my home. My kids, which are 22, 19, and 17, don't want me to save him. I live in my bedroom all day by myself except to go to work. He now says he wants to take a pill to stop drinking. It's just another lie. He will never do it. I am a woman of 56 and want to end it all. I'm so miserable. I can't do another year of this. Can't go on like this." Now, as a person who talks, this is right down your alley, right? You've heard
Right.
things like this. So what would you tell
Yes.
her to do?
She needs to separate from him.
Okay,
She should have done it years ago.
I totally agree.
Because he's never going to change. As long as she's in the house making meals, cleaning the house, Why should he change?
Sure, sure. And some people will never change, they just
Even
won't.
if she leaves, he may not change,
Right.
but she needs to get out of that abusive relationship.
I agree with that. Okay.
I'm not saying she should divorce him, but she definitely should separate from him
In hopes of that he'll change
in hopes that he'll change.
so that she can go,
And if he doesn't, well, then there's other avenues to
yeah,
pursue.
okay, let's see what she says. Um, okay, dear Can't, since she was called Can't Go On Like This. You shouldn't have to do another year of this. Consult a lawyer about legal separation and move out. To your well-meaning children that you may return when you're there. Tell your well-meaning children that you may return when your father can prove he has quit drinking. If he takes the meds once he sobers up, he may be less emotionally abusive. She said, don't count on it. However, if he fails to follow through, file for divorce. So you're right on point with that. Number 2. Oh, here it is. I was invited to my niece's wedding, and we immediately RSVP'd yes. I was also invited by her sister to her bridal shower and responded affirmatively. I have a service dog I take with me everywhere. I advised both parties I was bringing him. The sister told me I was uninvited or could leave my service dog outside on the porch. Now, a month later, 3 months after saying yes to the wedding, I'm being told I'm uninvited to the wedding because of my service dog. Am I still expected to give a wedding gift? I had planned to give my niece my sterling silver dinner set. What do I do now? She signed it going, not going in Illinois.
Well, I would say forget the wedding, forget the gift, move on with life.
Yep, that's exactly what I would have said. I would have said, F you.
Yes. I didn't say that way, but that's what I meant, yes.
But I would say, well, I mean, there might be more here than what we can tell from the service, but I would feel that there's got
She
to be,
could sit in the back. She could sit in the back with that service dog.
yeah.
So the dog is in the back of the.
If it is,
that.
Here's the deal. Some people have service dogs that aren't really service dogs. They're actually the reason they can bring their dog around. Like, for instance, my assistant at one time, who was an assistant for a long time for this show, got a dog. Now, I love dogs. I love dogs. They mean a lot to me. And so I don't normally have a problem, but she wanted to bring it to the show. I said, no. She said, well, why can't I bring it? I said, well, first off, it's not really a service dog. You say it's a service dog, but it's not. Second off, it's a Chihuahua. That's just a step above a rat. But,
Yes.
But I don't have a problem with that because one of the girlfriends that I had a Chihuahua, and actually he was a pretty cool Chihuahua. And he'd like climb up on the back of the couch. He would sit up on the couch, and he was kind of cool, but I don't have a problem with that. However, some people have service dogs, and I really put that in quotes because they aren't really service dogs. They don't do anything except give you the ability to take them places they shouldn't be. And so that would depend on, my answer would depend on that statement there. If it is really a service dog,
Aren't you supposed to have papers?
yeah, and you're supposed to have the vest and all that stuff, and most of the people that have service dogs don't have service dogs. They have dogs that have a service thing that they wear. But I let my assistant didn't really. I said I didn't want the dog here. She brought it anyway, and her service dog was out of the bag or whatever you carry them in 5 minutes before it pooped on my floor. That's not a service dog. That's a dog that needs service. So, to me, that's a major problem. But if the person's And if the person's having this bridal shower and the dog's shedding all over the place, I could see it being an issue. I could, you know, it depends on a few other things that I'd have to know, but what her past history is with this dog and all that other stuff. And if it is really indeed a service dog, that's all things that would come up in my question. But that being said, if it is indeed a service dog and these people are just dog haters or don't want it, to be around, then I would say, that's fine. I'm just not coming. If I really did have a service dog and I really did need that service dog for emotional support or whatever it is, but I've loved dogs. I've had dogs all my life. I don't see the need for service dogs. The dog is either your dog or it's not. So I kind of hate the service dog thing because I don't believe in service dogs. Did you give me an answer? You did. Yeah, we had the same.
I told her to forget it.
Okay, so here's what
just forget the whole thing.
Here's what Abby says. Forget about the shower and the wedding gift. If you feel generously inclined, send the happy couple a nice card. If your animal is indeed a trained service dog to help you, you should indeed a trained service dog to help you should you need it. It's wrong to rescind the invitation. Your dog would have been well behaved and wouldn't have caused a distraction and probably wouldn't have pooped on the floor.
That's right.
So the answer is that she said the same as we did. Well, she didn't say F you, but All right, so you're 2 for 2. 3. Dear Abby, my 32-year-old son is not speaking to me, his father and sister, because I have refused to give him more money. I have always helped him with his finances while he spent his money foolishly. It's been 9 months since we have spoken or seen each other. He has 2 children, so we have no contact with them either. I want to tell him how foolish he is, but I don't feel I should have to apologize to him. He's jealous of his sister and feels we do everything for her. We have always done exactly the same for both of our children. My daughter rarely borrows money. If she does, it's returned quickly. Should I wait until my son misses us enough to contact us on his own or reach out to him? He's very stubborn, and this may go on for years. Signed, Saddened in the South.
She is enabling her son by giving him money.
Yes. I agree.
She should stop giving him money, and if he never talks to her, he never talks to her.
I agree. Because if he's someone that doesn't make enough money, and he's in a bad situation, and he's not spending foolishly, I don't mind helping, but I'm not going to be his bank. That's the way I.
That's right.
I think that everyone needs to be able to live on their own. They need to figure it out because we had to figure it out, and we're living all right. All right, let's see what she said. She said, I didn't read these ahead of time, by the way. Call your spoiled, rotten, entitled son. Tell him you love him, but you're not changing your stance on the money issue, and the ball is in his court. So there you go. That
Pretty
is
much
it. That is them. So our first, you actually won 3 for 3. Wait a minute, what's this? Okay, that was okay. This is there's a new Monopoly game out. It eliminates cash. And it uses a smartphone to do the math. But parents are fuming about it.
Yeah, why? I heard part of this story, but I don't know why. Why are they mad at it?
Why are they mad? Well, I'm guessing. I did not read this one either. I just grabbed the article because I like to be fresh on this too. So this is under weird but true, by the way. It's a good category. All right. A new version of the Monopoly has been released, and there's no math needed. That's an issue. Because, oh, by the way, do you know the story of Monopoly?
No.
Okay, so Monopoly originally came out, and it was called, oh, I can't remember what it was called, but the object used to be that you would help each other not go broke. So you were against the bank, and so you would help your other people around the table to be able to make their payments, and so when it originally came out, there were two versions of you could play either version. You could play as the banker, or as the banker attacking, causing problems, or you could be united. And the one that made it big is the version that we see today. But the original version was not played that way. It was originally a landowner's game. You tried to save everyone and help everyone achieve. But as big business in the U.S. is, that's not the way life is usually. A new version of Monopoly has been released. There's no map needed. Hasbro announced an updated version of the beloved board game that replaces cash and the banker with a mobile app that handles all the transactions for you. A smartphone or tablet will take over the banker role through the Monopoly app banking, which keeps track of each player's money and property. See, this takes all the fun out of it because you don't have to think.
Yeah, that's why they don't like it.
The game is expected to release at most major retailers this August for $25 through the mobile app, though the mobile app will accompany it's free. Monopoly app banking is has a similar board layout to the traditional Monopoly board, but it now features kid-friendly alternatives to the mainstay properties. Rather than Park Place and Boardwalk, the most valuable properties on the board will be a rocket launch pad and the moon. Other properties will include a chocolate factory, a VR roller coaster, and a dinosaur park. Players will select a token and a matching bank card that are scanned to the mobile app that will automate the transactions such as purchasing title deeds or paying rent. Property cards will also be scanned into the app. The updated game eliminates the need for physical cash and counting and will speed up the game, making it more accessible for younger players and harder to cheat. However, many are furious about the change. I think it's funny. Parents and teachers often use Monopoly as a way to teach kids about math and money, and this new version removes the aspect. It's kind of funny. When we were kids, there weren't credit cards, and I remember being in school and them telling us, cash is going to be eliminated in your lifetime. And I'm thinking, why? And they said about credit cards. And I'm like, why would you use a credit card? And it's funny how that all happened. Because, they probably never thought of cryptocurrency or all the other things, but it's really pretty much, cash is most people don't carry cash.
I don't carry cash.
I carry a little cash to make sure that I have money when I'm traveling and stuff. But I don't really use much cash. I think last time, I just took a withdrawal in the past week, but I think the last withdrawal that I had, I'll withdraw $300 and that'll last me like months, just because, we don't use cash that much. Parents and teachers often use money as a way to teach kids. It says, call me a little, but the whole point of these board games is to teach kids how to do math, how to handle cash, and count money. Kids these days will never learn or practice basic arithmetic. Yeah, that's it. They should teach me reading. I'd be probably better off with that. One person commented on it that's Anyway, it doesn't inherently bother me that they made a version that uses an app. The same cannot be said about the fact that they skewed the version specifically to kids. I mean, when I was a kid, I remember it was kind of difficult to play without understanding the whole thing. But I think it's it's all right. I have mixed feelings about this, but it is it's evolving. So I wonder if they took out the original pieces like the car and the horse and all that stuff and put their own things in there. So, oh, this is funny. Okay, this is right down your this is down your counseling. All right, YouTuber. Now that's going to already tell you that you're in for some strange stuff. YouTuber blasted after revealing throuple with girlfriend and her mom. So you never have to ask her mom for if she's allowed to go out with her daughter. So apparently this throuple, here you go. Here's your throuple. Here's what they look like. You have mom, daughter, and lucky guy. Or maybe not lucky guy, but so the big deal was that Nick Yardy is the guy. He's 29. He horrified the internet when he recently announced that the 22-year-old adult entertainer girlfriend, Jade, and her mom, Danny, who's 44, were both pregnant with his children. People were so upset about that. But while he's admitted that the video, which just amassed hundreds of thousands of views, was just a skit for followers, he remains the throuple's family life is 100% authentic. There are no babies. It's just a skit. It's not actually real, he said. People follow me. They're just looking for entertainment, and I think they really believed it. But it's not true yet. So, and as usual, everyone has their own opinion about this whole situation. But some people were really upset about it because, he had said that he had the mother and the daughter pregnant, and and it's all consensual. But I just think it's a little out there, and
I think it's bizarre that he would even think of that.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
And think it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. It's difficult to imagine being with two women, and yet they even know. But then when you throw in the mom thing, yeah, it's a little much. It's a little more than I can't. And from a perspective of faith, I would say that's totally not accepted.
Not acceptable at all.
Unless you're
Unless you're a Mormon.
Yes. So, yeah, I kind of thought that was just really bizarre. There's definitely some bizarre things going on out there that, whether or not, I mean, why would you even tell people that? I mean, just to get the attention and the hits, I guess. And I don't know, it just it was a little bit too far. All right, next one. On the subject of the last, you thought that was bad. Well, this one's just as bad. I'm best friends with my ex-husband's new wife. We're so close, we wax each other. I just wonder. I can't even say anything about that. I mean, they're not doing anything
They're
illegally.
not doing any untoward, but
But it'd be like if I said to you, "Hey, I want to shave my privates. Do you want to come over and help me?" It's just not going to happen. It's just isn't going to happen. So I just thought that was kind of strange. To where's that other one at? It's well, there's a Monopoly game. There's where is it now? Oh, here it is. There it is. So I mean, I guess yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not like they're being sexual. They're just, if you go to a store and have wax, they would still get the same thing, I guess. But it's still a little bizarre. Now, if you haven't been, if you haven't enjoyed it so much, you're probably going to love this one. I'm a mom of two, but only one baby is real. Trolls say I'm crazy for raising a doll, but I love him. I know people like this. I know people that are so whacked out that that's what they would do. I don't understand. What would you say if someone came to you in the? Well, I guess you don't have confessionals, but I mean, that would come to you and talk about things. If you ran into the.
I would talk about living in reality.
Okay. I was going to say these would be 3 cases that you should be working on, but I'm not sure which one's more demented, because all of those
Well,
seem pretty bizarre. Oh, okay. Here's one that's a vape user. His leg is scorched to a crisp after catching fire in his pocket. The smell of burnt flesh made me feel sick. I've never heard of vapes doing that, but apparently that's an issue.
never heard of that.
I've never heard of that. I thought it was really bizarre that this guy's, it was pretty, apparently pretty bad. While rushing out of the house, oh, this is a girl. I thought this was a guy. Okay. Well, she should keep it in her purse then. There's your solution. Just keep your vape in your purse.
That's right.
Oh, man. The smell of burnt flesh made me sick. Retail manager for Dorset told the Need to Know, I'm not squeamish, so I looked and was shocked to see my leg had been burnt to a crisp as I saw a small flame began to flicker in my pocket. I tried furiously to pat it out with my hands. I guess it could happen because they're just batteries, and if the battery's defective, or if the button is stuck in, it might happen. But that would be a weird one. I've never heard that before, that anyone got burned. But apparently her cushion got burned, and as well as her leg. It says, my leg was so badly burnt that the skin was rolling into one oozing mass. Jeez. And, oh, here's a picture of the leg. That's pretty bad. So that's a good reason not to vape.
Another good reason not to vape.
You've never seen a cigarette light up by itself.
No.
Of course, I'm not big into cigarettes either, so. The history of, let's see. Oh, this is a strange, I've never seen this ad, but apparently this ad is a pretty cool ad. It's the history of San Francisco. Well, it says the history of San Francisco's most unforgettable ad. I've never seen this ad, but it's pretty cool. So I don't know what they were. Oh, Sony in 2005, the Sony TV won countless awards and racked up millions of YouTube views. So they went to San Francisco and they shot these colored balls. They just released them into the San Francisco big, that big hill and stuff. The big. Apparently, this is a big deal. I've never seen this ad, but apparently it's pretty big. Oh, here's the ad. So, oh, now of course this is one of those commercial things that I don't want to have. And there's a frog jumping out of his, and all these balls. These are real balls. These aren't generated by special effects. I can't believe that San Francisco let them do this.
Maybe they didn't.
No, they actually did contractually do it legally. But I just thought it was really kind of funny that they had this ball. They had a ball. But they paid for the cleanup and all that other, and any damages that were done. Just funny. I don't know. And it's a British ad, by the way. So it's on the Bravia. It's just kind of. So that was an interesting. Okay, let's see what we got now. I got. Oh, okay. So there's supposedly another Loch Ness sighting. The first one in 2025, and they're committed to telling the truth about Nessie. Okay, gotta do your job here. Come on. Oh, there it comes. Well, this is really slow. Let's see if I can close some of these windows a while. Oh, there we go. Loch Ness monster sighting reported, the first in 2025. Committed to uncovering the truth. So what's your thoughts on Nessie?
I don't think Nessie exists.
Okay. I don't think it does either. I think that...
I mean, they've had submarines explore that entire lake,
right?
Whatever it is.
Yeah, and the thing is, it is a business. It's a big business for them, and I don't know what else you could do in that remote area, but no one's ever really seen anything with today's cameras and with today's technology. There would be no way that a thing like that would exist that we wouldn't see it somehow, somewhere. So I just kind of think that it's funny that that it's still a question as to whether or not it's real. Let me see if there's pictures of it, because and nobody ever has a picture that's clear. Now here's a picture, and there's what they have. I don't know. It doesn't look like anything to me. Maybe a dolphin, And here's another picture, I think. No, and it's far. If that's a picture of it, it's far away. So I don't think that. Well, there's
an Apple 16 would be clear as day.
Yeah. I mean, that's what people tell you is that the cameras or the phones that are out today, they have such a better look than a lot of the cameras out there. But it seems this Loch Ness monster is a really good hider, because no one's ever seen him for real, as far as I'm concerned. And the things that I've seen, you can't really tell what it is. And zooms and telephoto zooms and stuff are pretty good if you go out there and looking for it. But it's just a tourist attraction, I think, and it doesn't exist. So that was in the news. This next one will be really exciting to you. The new so there's a couple weeks ago, I don't remember which event it was. It was Fashion Week, or no, it was the Emmys or something. The Emmys. There was controversy because this girl was dressed basically naked. I don't know if you heard about this or not.
No.
Well, now we've got this big thing where people are dressing to look naked, and this guy decided to wear women's breasts and dress like a woman to well, I mean, I guess well, make it look shocks Paris Fashion Week audiences with a male model flaunting fake double D boobs for public indecency. I mean, technically, they weren't real boobs, and it was a guy. So is it really indecent? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you go about this, but they look real from what I can see. And this is the guy, his normal look without the breasts, and I just think it's really, I don't know. Everyone wants to get their 5 minutes of fame, but anyway, it. Just I don't know. I just think it's weird. And now there's this woman here wore a top that looks like a male's chest. And you can't really tell until you look a little closer at it that it's actually not real. But once again, I find that people want the sensationalism, and that's what it is. It's sensationalism. So I don't know. Just kind of weird. But the other week in the Emmys, or I think it's the Emmys, this one guy brought his girlfriend, and she looked like she was naked. I mean, I don't know. I'd love to have that kind of confidence, walking around, but that's just too much. Okay, so this is a good one, and this is a two-pronged story. First is the story, and then the after story. A plane passenger who received a romantic note from the captain apologizes. So what happened was she was sitting in an airport, and this guy comes up to her and hands her a note. And she's sitting there like, oh, this is really, really nice. The note, let me find the note here. A woman received, a South Carolina woman who blew up online after receiving a romantic letter from a pilot has apologized to the sender, claiming she didn't mean to him to gain the unwanted attention. So she was sitting at an airport, and this guy just came up to her, gave her a piece of paper, walked away. The piece of paper was, I have seen the whole world, and you are the most beautiful human in it. That's it. Okay? So what do you think of that? You're a pretty good looking woman, and a guy walks up and gives you that and walks away. Not asking for a date, not asking for sex, just gives you a piece of paper and walks away.
I think that's fine.
I think it's an awesome thing, and there's so many people out there that
she should be honored that somebody would think that,
and she is. So that's the thing. It's cool. The awestruck woman, she's 23. She uploaded a video, heartfelt correspondence to TikTok, where it gained 21.5 million views and swarms of reactions, from words of encouragement from armchair wing women to warnings that he might already be attached. He wasn't asking for a date. All he did was he gives her the piece of paper and walks away. So, I kind of thought that was neat, and anybody that does that, that's kind of cool. I mean, she's a good-looking woman. She'd be nobody would be embarrassed to be with her, okay? Well, maybe I would, because she's like a third my age, but not quite a third of my age, but, that would be... Anyway, now, here's where the story gets really weird. This woman holds a piece of paper up saying, this guy sent me this, gave me this, and walked away, and it was really kind of cool. That's the extent of what her video was. This is where it gets, there are haters in every walk of life. Oh, we actually got the, let's hear exactly what she did say.
Airport. It was not the pilot of my flight, by the way. I just wanted to clarify. I wasn't going to make a follow-up video about this, but I just have been getting sent like news articles all day. Like I'm literally on the national news, and I don't know why, because I just posted this innocent little video, and I was sitting in the Atlanta airport eating an egg and cheese sandwich with my friend Maya, and this was placed in front of me, and I read it, and that's all that happened. I took a cute little video of it. That's all I thought. I didn't even see this man's face. She did. He was wearing a pilot. I saw him walk away, and he was wearing a pilot's outfit. He was not the pilot of my plane.
No.
She barely even saw what he looked like. Like, what did he look like?
Short, blonde hair, saw his face for maybe a split second. He placed it down, walked away. No ring, nothing. Just simple. It was nice.
It was just a nice gesture. I don't think he wanted this to be on the news, and I'm really sorry. He just was giving me a compliment. I don't even know his name, signature, anything. I don't know anything. Don't have his phone number, and it's okay. You don't have to set us up, and I'm good. It was really nice. I'm probably gonna frame it, put it in my house as a nice compliment that I was given. That's all it was, and I feel like I needed to make this video because I just went on my phone, and I'm like trembling. I just went on my phone, and everyone's sending me like Insider Edition newscaster where they're analyzing my handwriting to see if I was the one who wrote this. I did not write this. It was just a nice gentleman. That's all I have to say. Okay, bye.
Okay, so it's innocent enough, right?
Innocent, very innocent.
Okay. Now you have the haters. You come down here, and I just don't usually even read this, but I just scrolled down to see what other people thought. First person says, too gorgeous for me, so I'd pass her by and avoid the expenses. Yeah, just a jerk. But, you know, why even say that? Why? Anyway, the next person says, good point. She looks high maintenance and narcissistic woman. It's all about her. It's a story. I mean, this is just the nicer stuff that was said about her. Then we go a little bit further. That's why you do a SEAL Team 6. You get in and get out. Like you would ever have a chance with her, because you're the kind of person that you would probably not want to be with. Then so you're basically bragging about sleeping with a woman and leaving her, which is evil. And wonder why males are online whining about women wanting nothing to do with them. If a woman gets pregnant, you bail out on her as well as the child. Males are sociopaths, and I hope the worst for them. And then we got lemon's not worth the squeeze. Again, all she did was say, I got this letter from this guy, and that's it. He didn't hit on her. He didn't ask for anything. He didn't, so this person says, Rich, coming from a porn obsessed user named Busta Nuts. That's the name that the guy used before that. The guy that said lemon's not worth a squeeze. Coming from a porn obsessed user named Busta Nut, you have no right to speak on any woman's worth. And then it says, sad that you're a woman saying this. The same male you try to impress and tap dance are the same males you will want to cheat on you for a woman that looks like her. What this woman did was irresponsible and inappropriate, but Trump is out there full of narc who brags about himself. Again, what's this got to do with a little note that this woman got? This is so far off that this is again what happens if you have a Tesla. Yeah, I got my brand new Tesla. They don't talk about the Tesla. They talk about hating people. I don't understand how people can do this. Everything's got to be negative. Everybody's got to do things that are negative. And it's all she did was say, hey, I got this. If a woman did that to me, gave me a note and walked away and it said, hey, you're I really think you look cool. And, that'd be cool. I'd tell people about that. They wouldn't believe me, but I'd tell them. But, that's all she did. And all these people were ragging on her or taking the negative stance to everything she said and turning it into something that it's just uncool about. People need to post everything on social media, and it'll call the downfall of society as we know it. Again, I don't think she did anything wrong, and I don't think that she was trying to brag because she's beautiful. She just was saying it was kind of. And this person says, I don't believe her. She did this for attention on social media, monetization, and that's all she's getting. Again, who cares? And why
If
does
it's
everybody...
if it's a one-time thing, how's she getting monetization?
Exactly. She already has the following. It just
21 million views one time doesn't
Yeah.
earn you a dime.
Yeah. But I just really, it's sad that our society has to take this stance that, you know, she
There's
didn't,
haters everywhere.
yeah, and she didn't do anything wrong. I think that
She did nothing wrong.
that people are just idiots, and they prove it over and over again. You know, everyone's got to be negative about everything, and it just it's kind of sad that they're probably all Democrats. Because if it was a Republican, they'd say, I could have done her. But these guys, none of these guys could have got her. That's the first thing.
Yeah, they're all sitting in their basement in their underwear, Michael.
Exactly.
In front
If
of
they
their
have
computer.
underwear. If they have underwear
If
on.
they have underwear.
You know, it's just sad. It's sad that that's what this world's come to, that we can't even say anything without ripping on people, you know. I just don't understand why people have to be like that. It's just, I don't know. Anyway, all right, next one. This is one that kind of, again, people sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. This one, and I feel that I know what you're going to say about this one. So hopefully I'm right about this. So here's the story. This woman had a flight, and she booked the seat ahead of time. So she had wanted to get a seat by the window. And this kid got in her seat. This, I don't know how old he was. He was a young kid and he was crying. And she said, well, that's my seat. I booked that seat, you know. Because some people prefer to be like
Yeah.
me. I prefer to be by the window so I can just be in my own world. So the Brazilian woman who went viral after refusing to give up her selected window seat to a crying child says she's officially filed charges against the airline and the passenger who filmed her. Okay, that sounds bad at first. Jennifer Castro, 29, a bank employee from Belo Horizonte, found herself in the center of internet firestorm after the incident in December. The video is of an incident where Jennifer was actually filmed by a fellow passenger and not by the mother, as previously reported. It went viral, leading to a whirlwind of online shaming. Castro also unexpectedly rose to social media fame, with her Instagram following skyrocketing to 2.1 million, leading her to secure multiple brand deals as an influencer, she said. And she now claims she has officially filed against the airline to seek compensation for distress and damages caused by the ordeal. She says she's filed against a fellow passenger who basically videoed it. Citing judicial secrecy, Castro declined to reveal the amount, and she would not. It doesn't. I think that's. And she would not shore the. I think it was supposed to be show the paperwork. She says she wants to prevent similar public shaming and what she called unauthorized exposure in the future. It comes after it was reported last month that she was considering legal action. Since the incident, my life has taken a turn I could have never imagined. What should have been an ordinary flight turned into an extremely embarrassing situation, exposing me unfairly and causing consequences that affected my personal life and professional life. I was a target of judgments, attacks, and speculation from people who don't even know the full story. Castro says the incident began during boarding when she noticed a child sitting in her designated seat. Since she had selected the seat in advance, Castro expected the child to move to another seat. Okay, step one, I would be saying that too. If that's the seat that I chose, and, you know,
I'd be looking for the mother to move the child.
exactly. So, let's see here. Okay, so what should have been just an ordinary flight turned into an extremely embarrassing situation, exposing me unfairly and causing me consequences that affected my personal and professional life. I was a target of judgment, attacks, and speculation from people who don't even know the story. Since she selected the seat in advance, Castro expected the child to move to another seat. I waited for him to correctly accommodate himself in another seat, and then I sat down in my seat. The situation escalated when someone began filming Castro without her consent. All right. And she's a good-looking girl, by the way. She didn't get a note from the pilot about that, but, you know. Maybe it is the same girl. I don't know. Throughout the flight, the child cried a lot, which, although uncomfortable, is understandable when traveling, she recalled. What surprised me was the fact that the person who had nothing to do with these situations started filming me without permission, insulting me, and trying to publicly embarrass me because I didn't want to change seats. The viral video led to widespread public backlash, which Castro says had severe consequences for her mental health and professional career. My reaction was complete shock, she said. I never imagined something so simple could take on such proportions. Because the mother of the child and the child were not complaining. Well, the mother of the child was not complaining. It was everybody else that was complaining. She said, professionally, my life has changed a lot. So much that today I'm no longer in the field I worked in before. I was a banker in my personal life. At the point of repercussions, I practically didn't leave the house. In addition to being okay, so part of this is I think kind of petty in her side too, but I understand what she's saying. I mean, if you do something and people video you and she didn't deserve any kind of flack because she did book the seat. And so as far as I'm concerned, she had every right to sit there. In response to the public scrutiny and the unauthorized filming, Castro says she decided to take legal action. I decided to sue the airline because what happened to me was a huge embarrassment and the situation should have never reached this point. No one deserves to go through what I went through, being filmed, insulted, and attacked for exercising a basic right. The lawsuit is not about reparations, but is about setting a limit on this type of behavior. We all have rights. They must be respected, regardless of other people's opinions. She added, we gather all necessary evidence and took the appropriate measures against whoever filmed me. There's no action against the child's mother, only against those who violated my privacy. Despite the backlash, Castro remains firm in her belief that she was within her rights to keep her seat. Knock it off. I had it blocked, and they decided to knock down the little wall that I had to keep them upstairs. So I mean, the thing I feel for her was that she didn't do anything wrong, but yet people interjected their opinions and videoed her and harassed her and stuff like that. If people would just mind their own business, you know, it's like,
Wouldn't that be wonderful if
Yeah.
people would just mind their own business?
everyone feels that they have a right to complain, or, you know, if the mother's not complaining, what right do you have to complain? You know, the kid was wrong and the mother was right by not harassing her. So the bottom line is that, you know, I think she's over exaggerating the things that happen, but I don't know. I just feel that shouldn't have gone that direction. So, and once again, when you read the comments, comments. Of course, she's perfectly within her rights to have her assigned seat. Sounds like she handled the situation a lot more patiently than I would have. Well, that's true. I hope she wins a lot of money. Same, it's hard to understand how awful that situation would have been, let alone following you to work. You know, then we have why. Oh, what happened? What happened? What happened? Where'd the article go? Stop it! Oh man, it's going crazy. All my, would you stop opening windows? I didn't ask you to open any of those windows. Why would the airlines allow this to be an issue? Simply announcing no changing seats, no asking to change seats will stop people from, being in your spot. But I mean, the bottom line is the person that was actually filming it felt they were right. A Karen, I guess, as people would call them.
A busybody, would they call them that?
Yeah, or a Karen. That's the modern day busybody.
Karen, yeah.
So I just think that's sad that we even have to have a discussion about something like that, because this kind of thing shouldn't be happening. But everybody feels they have a right. Everybody feels they have that right to say something. I don't think you have a right to say things. I mean, if you're not involved in it, especially, and if the mother's not really making a big deal out of it, why would you make a big deal out of it? Then I was a Starbucks barista. Do you go to Starbucks?
Once in a while.
You won't again. You won't now. How I secretly got revenge on rude customers. I thought, wow, I got a gold mine here of stuff. There was a lot of stuff in this. All right. Starbucks baristas are constantly under pressure to complete coffee orders as quickly as possible, so mistakes are bound to happen, sometimes innocently, other times deliberately. A former Starbucks barista shared on Reddit how exactly they would sneakily seek out revenge on rude customers. The former employees wrote in their confessional subreddit, "I worked at Starbucks for over 6 years, and the only way I could get back at rude customers was by subtly messing up their orders." Now, this thing, I can't say that I would not agree to any of this, because this is just wrong. Not too crazy, just enough to be annoying. Some would talk on their phones while ordering, make passive-aggressive comments, just talk down to you like you weren't people. They continued. I was 22 then, and I'm not exactly proud of it now. So further elaborating, it didn't happen often. One time, a lady asked me to steam her milk 200 degrees. I told her it was a safety issue and I couldn't do it. She snapped, "Hire someone who can." So, yeah, she got her decaf treatment. The former barista post is filled with 200 comments of varying thoughts of petty revenge. Some people who also work in hospitality relate it to sharing how they would seek revenge on rude customers. I did some petty things to rude customers. I worked an overnight shift at a Mexican restaurant, so sometimes we get the super rude and drunk crowd. I would do things like give people a small straw for a large drink, or vice versa. That's kind of funny. But still, if you know the difference, you shouldn't do it. I mean, you're paid to do a job. It doesn't matter. People are going to be rude, and they just are out there. I would do things like, or give them 1 or 2 salsas for 6 tacos, or a single napkin, and tell them we're out of certain drinks even if we weren't. See, Stu, that's just childish stuff. My friend worked at a Starbucks in the past in Toronto. He would take a very rude lady's tea bag and rub it on the inside of the toilet 10 minutes before she showed up. Again,
That's sick.
it's just, there's no room for that. She drank, as he called it, shit tea every day from him. But don't feel bad about some decaf coffee. Also, people be kind to the people who prepare your food. That's one thing I was taught early in life.
You always nice to people who prepare your food.
Yes, absolutely. One girl that I dated got we went down to Inner Harbor and we stayed I won a certificate for a free weekend at Inner Harbor, and it included, they gave me a $200 card for food. And we went there, and she was just in a horrible mood all the time. And I took her because it was her birthday, and I thought we could have fun. And I always liked Inner Harbor because it was just fun place to go. But from the minute we got there till the minute we left, all we did was fight. And it wasn't me fighting, it was her. And we went to this restaurant, and I thought, oh, this will make her feel better. I spent $150 of that card, or something like that. And we had a nice meal. It was just, my food was just excellent. She started complaining about everything. And they came up to her and said, well, do you want us to redo your steak? She said, no, just take it back. I'm like, this is a $200 meal. Don't just say take it back. First off, there was nothing wrong with it, except that I was there. She was just, there was nothing I could do to make her happy. And we went to Inner Harbor into the aquarium that next day, and all she did was just, I love the aquarium. I could stay there all day because it's just really cool. But she just was like huffing and puffing. I said, that's it. We're done. She said, what do you mean we're done? I said, you just stood over at the wall while I'm looking around the aquarium and looked like you were having the worst time of your life. So let's just go home. So she got mad at me because I said that. And I went in, packed our stuff up, got in the car, drove her home. Not a word was said on the way back. And that was the last time I saw her for years. I just, you're trying to do nice stuff. And the first thing she accused me of is wanting to sleep with her. I didn't care if I slept with her or not. I was trying to be friends with her because I've known her for a long time. I knew her for, probably 15, 20 years by then. And we did have a romantic relationship way in the day, a long time before that. But there was nothing I could do to make her happy. And I wasted that trip because she just was, I would have rather gone on my own. I would have had a much better time by myself. But sometimes you just can't make people happy. Here's someone that said, I once put extra Tabasco sauce in a girl's Caesar because she threw her ID at me when I asked her for it. She was 19. She walked away saying, holy, this is spicy, to her boyfriend. Spicy drink for a spicy attitude. I said. On the other hand, several other commenters said that you shouldn't. They're concerns for tampering with someone's food. You can also cause migraines through people who are dependent on caffeine at certain times of the day. Withdrawal is real and something you should not take lightly. I understand that customers can be POSs, but please do it another way. Decaf decaf for a caffeine is okay. Giving caffeine when decaf is ordered is a medical emergency. And anyway, so down in the conversation, the only thing worse than a rude customer are vengeful, self-centered employees. When I was in high school, I worked at restaurants at the mall. I treated everyone with respect. It's called being a professional. and people started ripping on other people, and that was good. That was actually a conversation that people need to see, that they, if you're in the service industry, that's what you do. You should be of service. So, so could you explain to me the Knights Templar?
I really don't know, Mike.
Oh, okay. Well, I can tell you then. Because one of the
I
things...
know of them, and I kind of know about them, but I don't know enough to tell you.
Well, I mean, like that one show I watch is always talking about the Knights Templar and talking about the Covenant, the what's it called? The something of the Covenant, the
Ark of the
Ark of the
Covenant.
Covenant. Yeah. So I didn't understand what the... Would you stop it? Stop pushing my hand on my trackball. I can't move things if you're going to push my hand. No. Go lay down. All right. So, I got this article on who were the Knights Templar, and I thought you could actually cut me some. Okay. At first, the officially recognized Christian military order, the Knights Templar, sought to protect Christian pilgrims and it says extend their religious influence throughout the night. The warrior monk organization formed the First Crusade and were named the fallen First Temple of King Solomon, out of which they were based, leading to the name Templars. The article describes the rise and fall of the monastic order?
Monastic order.
So, out of the ashes...
Well, see, one of the problems is I don't consider them Christian.
Okay.
Because a true Christian wouldn't do what they did.
Yeah, well, that's the thing that I'm really confused on, because, the stuff I've seen was that I guess they...
The Crusades, Mike, went into Muslim territory and killed Muslims just because they were Muslim.
Okay.
That's not a Christian thing to do.
No. That's not the reason you would kill people. I would think self-defense would be the only thing I would say would be something that I would be okay with. It says, out of the ashes of the collapsed Western Roman Empire rose an agrarian, decentralized world of small, mostly Christianized kingdoms, which gave birth to universities, workers' guilds, a revolution in commerce, and more. The very idea of Europe as a district cultural, I don't even know what that word is, emerged during the era. The period, roughly 500 to 1500 CE. What's CE?
Common Era.
Common Era.
It's replaced BC, AC.
Okay.
It's replaced AD, after death or before Christ.
Okay.
Common Era is now.
Okay.
We're in the Common Era now.
Okay, so the period roughly is 500 to 1500 Common Era, came known as the Middle Age between Greco-Roman antiquity and a later period of recovery of the arts and ideas from those civilizations. A three-part periodization first conceived in the 15th century. As Roman governance weakened in the Western Empire, millions of non-Roman peoples are estimated to have migrated to Scandinavia, Northern Europe, and the East, settling and reshaping the former Roman provinces. The movement resulted in a new alignment between Roman and non-Roman peoples, like the Franks. Who are the Franks?
They are the German.
Okay. Like the Franks, who consolidated in Gaul, modern France, and saw a brief cultural renaissance under Frankish king Charlemagne. Charlemagne, is that the name?
Charlemagne.
Okay. In North Century CE. Elsewhere, the Northern Vikings raided much of Europe in the 10th and 11th centuries. The Vikings, what What country was the Vikings in?
Um, um, I want to say Norway, but I don't believe
Okay,
that's
that's
correct.
kind of what I was thinking was that
It's
area.
from that area, Scandinavia.
Yeah. So, okay, so amid Rome's decline, Christian monasteries became the livelihood, or no, the lifeblood of cultural transmission. With support from the church and wealthy um patrons, monks and nuns living in the community copied text. Did they have texting back then? From antiquity. Uh, so it says here. Wait a minute. A new shift towards professionalism led to the development of universities to the study of tax. Was that? No, I'm sorry. Study of law, medicine, and theology. Originally schools for priests and monks, these studies, it says generalists
Generals.
evolved to include lay people from across Europe. And the economics, it says the period was marked as decentralization, local of lands owned by noble lords and worked mostly from mostly free peasants known as vassals, a system historians dubbed feudalism. Does any of this stuff make sense to you?
Mhm.
Okay. Says
I studied history, Mike.
Yeah, well, I hated history, but now that I'm getting older, I'm like, now that I've seen these shows that are looking into the past and stuff like that, I've got a more interest in the way things got to where they got, and that's why I when I see the Knights Templar and stuff, like they're talking about that all the time on Oak Island, and they talk about all the people that have all these cultures of people that have been to that island, and it's amazing that so many people ended up in that island because it's not near anything. So it's funny how we see that the people like the Templars were there, and they find that all these different groups of people. We're on this tiny, stupid little island, and whenever they find things that are just even a button from something that's like centuries old, like I can't even imagine. Like that's a lot of knowledge to know that was like from this era. They've got experts that are telling us, and they're from all over the world, France, from Italy, from all these cultures that are way before our time, and I just find it really interesting now that I'm older, that all these places existed and are not around anymore. I was thinking, how weird would it be to think that your uncle from 2 centuries ago, it's tough for me to think about this, but your great 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 grandfather came to this island and stuff like that. It's just really kind of amazing to me when I start thinking about this stuff. And I didn't really care about history when I was younger, but I may have cared about it if I had been watching these programs, because these programs have made me interested in some of this stuff that goes on. And anyway, I just that's just a little thing on the Knights Templar anyway. Here's a story about, I wouldn't feed 2 kids at my child's birthday party, but I think their parents were at fault. Now, here's the story. She's having this birthday party for her kids, and she wants to, gave everybody a card and said, I need to know what, because nowadays you've got to be careful what you feed everybody.
Right.
Because there's allergies you have to worry about and all this stuff. So it's a kids' party, and the parents went out of their way to get people the invitations, and on the invitations, you had to say what they can eat and what they can't eat, or whether they were bringing their own food, or what, or if you're even coming. So the question comes, okay, here's the story. It's a UK, okay, so it's a UK-based parenting forum. She explained that she was hosting a bounce castle birthday party for an 8-year-old. She sent out invites 3 weeks before to around 40 children, asking for a response a week before the party's date. That sounds fair, right? You would respond before that. The mom stressed that she asked those who didn't RSVP after some time for a response as soon as possible due to food allergies in the family, because she was doing individual lunch boxes for each kid and would like to make sure that they had the lunch boxes made. I also put on the invites that once I got an RSVP, I would provide food options for the party so that they could choose. And no RSVP equals no food provided. That's fair. In total, 32 kids were expected to be in attendance. Now there were, this, let's see here, it says, now had 18 from school confirmed, plus 6 siblings, and 8 family members. Happy days, she explained. Of course, there were still some parents who dropped off their kids at the party, despite not doing the RSVP. That's really rude.
That's rude.
Considering how firm this mom was with her party, with the rules, those 2 unexpected kiddos did not receive lunch boxes, as expected. They did go over, that didn't go over well with the hungry kids' parents, as they couldn't believe the mom didn't have any extra food. It wasn't a buffet. It was tailored boxes due to the allergies, and I'm not putting my niece at risk. It cost me less than a buffet doing the boxes for everyone, and much less waste, according to the mom. Lucky for the mom, many commenters validated her feelings by agreeing with how she handled it. You're not being unreasonable. Warning was given to the invites. They turned up, so they must have read it because they knew when and where to come. The thing with the spares, the lunch boxes, is how many do you make? As some kids can drop out due to illness, change of circumstance of the day, and they ended up, just being thrown away. So you follow up and made it clear there would be no food for them without an RSVP. You were not unreasonable. Maybe you, these are comments. It says you're not being unreasonable because maybe if you make them think twice about being so rude in the future, if the children were upset, it's entirely down to them. However, some other commenters feel that the children shouldn't suffer for the parents' carelessness. I would have done a few extra because you're punishing the children for their parents' thoughtlessness. So what do you think? I mean, you had 3
Yeah, but
weeks.
even if she would have made a few extra, she didn't know if she was if these kids had allergies, and the kids may not tell them that they have allergies.
Yep, that's what I was thinking too.
So I think she probably did right by not feeding them.
I think so too, but I would have probably had something like
for them.
Not a candy bar,
that
but
was allergy free.
A healthy something. But they're kids. I mean,
they're kids.
It sucks when your kids lose because the parents are stupid. All right. We'll go like 15 minutes more. Is that good?
Okay, go ahead.
Unless we could leave now. We could.
I do. Yeah, let's leave now.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Want to thank anybody that's still with us. I'm sorry about the. Oh, we do have people. We actually have people. Um, because the thing shut down, I didn't think it would. They would have been back, but they did come back. Okay. Thank you for checking us out, and I will talk to you guys next week. And I think we covered some good stuff today.
We covered some good stuff today.
Yeah, it's good. It's not, and I like that one comment about the weird stuff. That weird. I'm going to go back there for more stuff because that was definitely some good stuff. So yeah, we'll continue and hopefully. Oh, this is going to be a weird week. Hopefully, maybe Thursday, if you're around, maybe we can.
Thursday is good during the day.
Okay, all right. Maybe we can work out the bugs. All
Okay.
right. I want to thank you guys for showing up, and I hope you had a good time. And yeah, well, we'll talk to you later. We'll talk to you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, I think. There we go.